Back to the election, the remaining GOP hopefuls tackle immigration on the debate stage. John Kasich taking a different tone from his opponents, praising immigration's role in building America. Listen.
I believe in immigration, but it has to be controlled. The simple fact of the matter is I wouldn't be standing here. I'd be, maybe running for president of Croatia if we didn't have immigration. Immigration is something that brings youth and vibrance and energy to our country. But we clearly have to control our borders. We can't have people just walking in. Look, we lock our doors at night in our homes, and the country has to be able to lock its doors as well.
Julie Roginsky, she is a Democratic strategist, and Guy Benson is political editor for townhall.com. Both are Fox News contributors. Thank you both for joining us.
Good morning.
So a different type of debate last night, a lot calmer on that stage. But Julie, who do you think presented their plan for immigration the best?
Well, it's interesting. For the general election, clearly Kasich, because Kasich spoke to the humanity of immigration and talked about the fact that all of us, for the most part, 99% of us, are not Native Americans. We all came from somewhere, or our families did. And so therefore, I think in a general election, he resonates best. Of course, in a Republican primary, that doesn't go over well. Republicans want to hear all about building walls and keeping everybody out. And that's why Trump has really resonated so strongly with the Republican base, and why you have Marco Rubio running away from what used to be his position on comprehensive immigration reform, pathway to citizenship, and the Gang of Eight bill, and completely putting that aside now and engaging in the same kind of xenophobic behavior that Donald Trump is engaging in.
Guy, what do you think? What was your take from it last night?
Xenophobic, come on, Julie. I mean, look,
Trump's not xenophobic?
Clearly a difference. There's a difference in tone between a number of these candidates and different policies as well when it comes to immigration. But I think the starkest contrast is between what we saw last night and the previous night with the Democrats, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, basically agreeing in that Univision debate that it's immoral to ever deport anyone who has not committed a subsequent crime after entering this country illegally. And I think that sets an extremely dangerous precedent where we are inviting more illegal immigration, saying enforcing our laws is immoral. That's the Democratic position. That is extreme and untenable.
Let's take a listen to what Cruz had to say last night. We have some of that we can play for you.
The Democrats support illegal immigration because they view those illegal immigrants as potential voters, and far too many of the Republicans are doing the bidding of Wall Street and the special interest, and they view it as cheap labor. We need instead leadership that works for the working men and women of this country. We need an immigration system that takes care of the jobs of the working men and women of this country.
I was listening to that last night, and I was thinking, Julie, a new phrase that's being tossed around following the Democratic debate, that's Hispandering, pandering to Hispanics. Did you hear any of that happen last night with the Republicans?
No, I don't know what the term is for pandering to the most racist elements in our society, but I heard a lot of that. Look, I mean, for Ted Cruz, as an immigrant from Canada himself, whose father came to this country from Cuba as an immigrant, to suddenly say that somehow all immigration is horrible, just makes no sense to me, especially because of who he is and where he comes from. And again, John Kasich, I thought, made a very, very, very poignant point, which is he would have been living in Croatia if it weren't for our immigration system. It's time that somebody like a Marco Rubio or a Ted Cruz recognize as well that they would be in Cuba today if they weren't allowed to have come here under the circumstances their parents came here.
Julie, can you do me a favor just for 1 second and acknowledge that there's a difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration?
Of course. Of course, but
okay,
but what I'm hearing from the Republicans, and especially from Donald Trump, is we're going to build a wall and send everybody else back, separate families, break them up, including kids who were born here as American citizens, and then we'll let everybody sort it out themselves. I mean, that's not anything that makes any sense. You're talking about deporting American citizens who were born in this country legally back to Mexico, wherever they came from. You have to acknowledge that it's completely untenable and out of step, not just with Democrats or independents, but with a large chunk of the Republican Party.
I do want to get someone to comment about Cuba, though, just very quickly, because we have to wrap up. That seemed to be the largest, the largest amount of applause that Rubio got last night when he talked about Cuba.
Yeah, he gave a very strong answer there. It's clearly a passionate issue for him, a very personal issue for him. And here in South Florida, it played very, very well. But to Julie's challenge, I do not defend Donald Trump very often on a whole host of issues. And I have problems with his immigration plan. But every single Republican on that stage has made clear that there is, of course, room in the fabric of this country for legal immigration.
Yeah, okay. Guy and Julie, thank you both for joining us.
Thanks.
Everyone at home, xenophobia, that would be irrational dislike of people from other countries, in case you don't know. Thank you.